buddy. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We're so glad you joined us. Tonight is Tuesday, October 17th. It's going to be a great show. Leo, hit that promo.
Yeah, I'm a big fish in a small pond. Day's free and my night's long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. I'm as famous, I'm as famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Welcome back. We are so happy you're here. As I said, tonight is Tuesday, October 17th. So October is, I'm going to say it's my favorite month for many reasons. I mean, I love May too because May's my birthday month, but October is just the best. I love the weather. I'm a huge fall person. I love the food. I love all the comfort food. I just love all of it. So as we approach, as we go through October, of course, we're coming up on Halloween, right? Which reminds me, Halloween night, which falls on a Tuesday, we will not have a show. Maybe Leo will show an old show or something, or maybe we'll figure something out. But I have to work at Stonewall this year. It's the two biggest events at the Stonewall Inn are Gay Pride and Halloween, and they're huge because there's a parade in New York that goes all up and down 6th Avenue. Down east, sometimes it goes up from Spring Street all the way up, and it's just millions and millions of people. So the Stonewall Inn is a huge stop for people, and some of the greatest costumes you will ever see. So this year I'm working the door. So that's what we're not going to have a show that night. I mean, Leo and I will talk. I mean, unless it's a rerun or something. But so go ahead and do your candy, give your kids, because I know a lot of people do candy that night. We don't want you to worry about having to choose. Okay, so Leo, do you want to join me, my friend? First of all, if you know,
little Leo,
that was magical the way you just. So Leo updated our promo. I don't know if you noticed, but he's getting fancier and fancier and fancier. It's beautiful, Leo. I just wanted to thank you for that. So
Halloween is creeping in. We had a bad
creeping in. I love it. And I love all the colors of fall. I just think it's the best.
Oh, you were asking me about costumes earlier. I thought of something. Tomorrow is our Gonna Sing and Dance, our children's theater program that I started up here. And we're doing the little ones, and we're doing Peter Pan. So tomorrow they have a choice. They can make a pirate costume. They can make a mermaid costume, or they can make fairy wings. And today I crafted the fairy wings because we're going to cut them out of paper, and then with some extended band. So they put them on like a backpack, and I made the prototype today, and then they're going to decorate them and make their own.
That's incredible.
It'll be fun. So that's our costume.
I want to be there. I wish I was there.
You'll get you some wings. We'll save you some wings.
Oh, I love that stuff. That would be so fun. You're such a fun after school. Mr. Leo, you are the most fun of all the after school.
Well, I also am pretty strict, and I don't let them get away with stuff either.
No, though. I know you don't, but that's why they love you. Kids love structure. I'm telling you, I work with kids. They love structure.
Well, they need it. They tell you that. So, therapists will tell you. And I try to tell some of my friend parents that I was like, oh, let them sleep when they're going to. No, they need a schedule. They need to know.
I agree because I'm back to teaching. I have a new assignment now. I'm not in the Bronx right now on Fridays.
Well, that's right. You're in Harlem now, right?
I'm in Harlem now. It's brand new school for me. And they're just amazing. They're just amazing, and they are into it. I have a couple.
Good.
Yeah, they're really into it. I have a couple Spanish-speaking kids. You would love it. I'm really working on my Spanish, Leo. You'd be proud of me.
Que bueno.
Que bueno. So we already started writing a new song. And it's
fun.
Really cool. So I have a little Spanish in there, too. So it's great.
Is Susie with you at this one?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Susie's with me, as is my friend Chris Hines. So we were, and Ralph that was at the Bronx. So my Bronx crew is there, plus some other.
Las Locas.
Las Locas, yeah. We have a good time. Oh, my God. All right, let's say hello to first in always is D from Danielle from D's Enlightened Edits. She is amazing. She is a spiritual medium, psychic. She's a reader. She's a healer. She does. I mean, I can't tell you all the stuff Dee does. And she also is on Instagram. Actually, she's not really on Facebook. She comes through here through YouTube, but she is on Instagram if you want to find her.
Mm-hmm.
And she often does live stuff, which she talks about different things, and she often does readings live. You can ask questions. She's really, really cool. You should follow her. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is October, of course, and so I did the voter. I sent the voter things out yesterday. Postcards to swing states, November. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, can you still email them? Can you still get postcards?
I think it's cut off now because they have to be sent out. Like I had to send mine out today. So last night I went to the post office after midnight, sent them. And some places you can send them as far as October 27th, but they would have to mail them to you. It's but there's a million other things you can do. Now, I do want to give a shout out to my friend, Sally Hunter Filburn, who was on our show maybe like a month ago with her husband, who's going to be in our calendar. He's
what do we
Mr.
call?
May.
Do we call her the First Lady May since he's going to be Mr. May?
Oh yeah, I love that. She's going to be the First Lady May. So Sally Filburn sent me. She is a beautiful artist. She does so many things. So she sent me these little pumpkins that she knitted. They are so
adorable.
Cute. Oh my God! There's all sizes she sent me, and then she makes these. Well, she's a gorgeous painter as well. So now she's turned her paintings into cards as well. See, this is
that what you did? You have? Is that the one that we liked during the show?
Yes. And look at this. I'm gonna send you some of this.
Close up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some of this stuff.
It's that painting.
I know. I'm gonna send it to you. It's so beautiful. It's just gorgeous work. And
that's kind of gold.
Got like
lame in the painting with acrylic,
yes.
right? Like it go.
Yeah, they're abstracts, but I got to tell you, they're just exquisite. Look at these. And
beautiful.
So she does beautiful work, and I am very excited about
and she's
that.
so humble about this great work, which is crazy.
I know. She's humble and she's sweet, and
look at how cute those pumpkins are.
I know. They're just adorable. I took it, and she sent all kinds of other stuff, but I can't get everything on right now. But go to Sally Hunter Filburn's. I think she's also on Instagram. She is on Facebook as well, but Instagram is her main thing, and you'll see all this stuff.
Did you freeze, Maria? You froze. Are you there? Hello. Uh-oh. Well, Sally Filburn is in London, England, and she has got some wonderfully great, beautiful art. And we'll wait for Maria to
there it is.
unfreeze.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay, I was just spinning on my end, so I don't know what happened. But so the internet's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep, you're back. You're a little fuzzy, but you're back. But
okay,
we're always a little fuzzy, aren't we?
Always a little fuzzy. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to talk about. That's what's going on. Also, I told you about Melissa. There's so many great Broadway shows right now.
Yeah, have you heard? What have you heard about it?
Well, I heard it's not. Chauncey went to see it. He couldn't believe that she's actually in it. It's a one-woman show. It's her
telling stories and singing.
Yes. I mean, it's like this intimate setting, and I'm listening to her book right now, which is called "Talking to My Angel." Which is also a song that she wrote. It's a beautiful song. So I'm listening to her audio book now, which she wrote maybe about a year ago, and then she's doing this Broadway show. So I just think she's wonderful. Last night they honored her at I forget what it was, but Broadway Rocks or something, where they were honoring all the rock and rollers of Broadway, and she got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's amazing. What was your first? Where were you? And what was the first song
that I ever heard
for her? Melissa's? From her, yeah, Melissa, the one that just because she's been around, but the one that stopped you, the one that got you.
Does she love you like the way I love you? Does she hesitate like the way I do? That one.
Oh, okay.
That was the first one I heard in the 90s, and I was like, oh my God.
I
But yeah,
think mine was "If I Only Wanted to." Was my. I mean, I come to my window was great, but "If I Only Wanted to."
it's
If
great.
I only, it was great. It's so about like, felt like unrequited love. And during the 80s and 90s, at least when our generations were coming out, it always felt like the unrequited love story was like the gay
Yeah.
man's and women,
Yeah.
you know.
So I mean, I love her. I've always loved her. I've always respected her. I've met her a few times, believe it or not, and
That's right. That's right.
she's a really good sport. She's fun. She's sweet, and she's a great tipper. I met her the first time I met her, I was bowling in the Broadway show Bowling League, believe it or not.
Oh,
And she was just hanging out with, I think she was with Rosie O'Donnell hanging out. Rosie was in Greece at the time. I was in Tony and Tina's wedding, or I had ended Tony, whatever it was. And she came and she just like watched us bowl. And I thought, oh my God, that's Melissa Etheridge.
didn't you sing with her at the Duplex too?
So listen, what happened? Then she came in another time to the Duplex with Kathy and Jimmy.
Oh, I love Kathy.
Yes, and they were great. Susie was there that night. Susie didn't know who she was. So Susie was jumping all over the tables and jumping all over her. And she just kept laughing. And I was like, Susie, come here. I go, that's Melissa. And she goes, who is that? I was like, forget it. I'm not even going to try to tell her. But anyway, so that was Susie like 100 years ago. And then one night I was working with Michael Isaacs. We used to work together on Friday nights at the Duplex. And I do this whole spoof, Come to My Window. I do a whole spoof to it as a stalker song. So I go, yeah, it's like, and so I go through my whole comedy routine about the stalker song, Come to My Window. I'm breaking it down and I'm right in the middle of it. And I look over to the right and who's sitting there? Melissa Etheridge. And I was like, oh my God. Like, do I just die right now? Do I crawl into a hole or do I just 100% commit? And that's what I did. And then afterwards, I went like behind the bar, and her girlfriend at the time, was now her wife, came up and said, Melissa thought that was hysterical. And I said, I almost fainted because
oh my goodness,
she's gonna hate it. I thought she was coming up to tell me. And I said, hey, do you think she'd want to sing? And she said, oh, she'd love it. She's a big ham. So I didn't tell anybody. And I had all her songs anyway in my book. And I went up and I said, Michael, I'm going to call someone up if it's okay with you. He was like, you know, Michael, sure. I go, ladies and gentlemen, what would you say if I called up Melissa Etheridge? And they didn't know she was there.
Oh my goodness.
And I've never felt a room like explode like that. It was like a buckle effect. Like people went, whoa. And Michael Dion was there too. I hope he but he took some great pictures and we took and anyway, it was like this buckle effect. And she was so lovely and so giving and so happy to be there. And she sang like a couple songs. She did some Marvin Gaye songs. And then everybody was like, do one of yours. And I said, listen, I do Talking to My Angel, and I have it in my book. Michael can play it for you. And she did Talking to My Angel. I know. She was such a good sport.
I love that voice. I love her. That rasp.
And she's just a good person. So go and support Melissa Etheridge. She is at.
And she was a light for us at that time. For me, at least, she was coming out and standing in that light, and a lot of us were like, following the light. We were getting our own voice. Thanks.
That's
to her.
what a lot of her book is about. It was about just her, how it was back then and how it is now, and what her role in it was, and how she felt like she had to do something. And even though her life was very, she was very like under a bushel because it was very different. She's from Kansas and things were very different. I mean, can you imagine?
In Kansas.
Yeah.
Hey,
so what? Oh, go ahead.
You were just going to say it. Rena the Weather Girl.
Rena, our weather girl, is here. My cousin Rena Crinali-Berge has joined us.
And we got some genius in the room too.
I know it. Lynn Porter's genius, who, by the way, is joining us next week with one of her songwriting partners, Dan Clancy.
Oh, wow.
Her longtime songwriting partner. They wrote an amazing amazing musical called 108 Waverly. and which I saw in the 90s. It's incredible.
And it's been playing in Florida, hasn't it?
It's now they cast it, and they're rehearsing, and it's reopening in Florida. So I'm very excited. They're going to come on next week and talk about that. Lots of great theater and wonderful things. Claudia Achera, what? Claudia, I met through, is an incredible musician. And talk about, she loves Melissa Etheridge too. We were just, oh my God, we were just talking about Melissa Etheridge. Claudia is a wonderful musician, and I met her through Lynn Portis. Genius.
Genius.
And she also is an engineer, and she actually engineered a song that Lynn and I wrote together called I'm Only Human, which is on my first CD. And Claudia, that was beautiful. And we miss you. Oh my God, Lynn, how exciting is this? So, okay, Leo, how is your class coming? It's coming along well?
It's going really well. We choreographed a little bit of Love and Marriage to start our marriage suite this coming week, and just working with some other writers on their story as they put them together with their songs. So
I love it.
They're a little nervous. It's like when we were with you guys. You know, we were all a little nervous, and I told them, nervous is good. That means you care.
Yes, that's what I always say. Nervous means you care. So don't worry if you're nervous about something.
Where do you think I learned it from?
Oh, I love that. That's it. Don't be afraid of nervousness. Okay, so we're glad you're joining us. And as the show goes on, you know, more people pop on. And so a few weeks ago, a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago or so, my friend and your friend, Andy Prasky, and his guy, Sean Chinsoon, invited me to dinner on a Tuesday night. They were seeing a show. And I'll have them tell you all about that. And they said, hey, you want to join us for dinner beforehand? I said, sure, I'm doing my show, but we'll come and have dinner, and then I'll run back up and do the show. But while we were there together, they started showing me all these Halloween costumes that they had made and worn, and they were like the best costumes I've ever seen. I was like, oh my God. So I said, would you guys want to come on in October and talk about like costumes and getting ready for Halloween? They were like, sure. So what were you going to say, Leo? I know you're.
I think somebody should. They're like, I wouldn't challenge them on the costume challenge. No, not me. I would not do it.
You know, my friend Cesar Ricci is an amazing costume. I want to give him a shout out if he's watching or will watch. And I always try to get Cesar on the show, but he's like painfully shy. But he's an amazing designer, and he also makes great costumes. And he makes costumes for him and his husband Bill, and they're always really fun. And I connected them, I think, because I don't know if the connection ever happened, but because they're both super busy, but both couples. But Sean and Andy, we're bringing them on. They're going to talk about, they do many, many things, these guys, but they're going to focus on costumes for this episode. What?
Before they come on, I have a secret to tell you.
What is it?
It's about Andy.
Andy, what about Andy?
Tomorrow's his birthday.
What?
So when he comes on, everybody surprise him, okay? Shh.
I had no idea. Because, you know, Facebook tells you on that day. I mean, you could go ahead, but yesterday was Judy Mesa's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Senator Mesa.
Senator Mesa, we celebrated for 2 days. And she told me tonight that it's still her birthday.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 days. What do you mean 2 days? Only 2 days for Judy?
No, I know. Well, she's been celebrating, but she said, no, it's still my birthday. I said, okay. Well, so anyway.
It's a birthday month, usually.
But that makes sense. Libras enjoy their birthdays. That Andy, it would be his birthday because he's so likable, and I get along great with Libras. So should we bring him on?
Yes, we should. Dum, 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 dum. Adorableness times 2.
Woo! Oh my God, Andy and Sean, my friends and wonderful human beings. And so Andy, you've been on the show a bunch of times, and people know you. Andy is a filmmaker. He is a director. He does commercials. He does all kinds of things. Sean, your talents as a costume, I know you fly under the radar. You're just, just a regular civilian. But when I looked at those pictures and saw the detail that you put into these costumes, I said you have to come on the show. So I want to thank you for agreeing to come on the show.
You're very welcome.
So where should we start, guys? I'll let you kind of just take the reins.
Well, gosh, there's so many layers to Halloween, as we know, from just the performing art side of it to preparing, how it connects to the performing arts.
Right.
So it's really fun to understand where really Halloween kind of comes from and how it relates to like actors and actresses,
Yeah, you were telling me something before the show.
Yeah, like 1,200 years ago to like 600 BC, the Celts had this festival October 31st to November 1st, because October 31st was they considered to be the end of summer, so they considered it to be like the death day.
Oh, okay.
Whereas November 1st brought them into winter, which is like dark and gloomy and all that. So they used to dress up in costumes and have a festival where they would actually perform for money and food.
Wow.
Well, that's what actors do. That's what performing arts people do. You dress up, you perform, and you make your living at it. And I think that's just so interesting. And then that became Halloween literally throughout the world.
I love it.
The origins of Halloween.
Yeah, and also, like, I know for the Catholics, way back, and not just in Italy, but like all of Europe, they used to do is dress as saints. That was like the night before Rena would know better. Also, there's All Souls, but there's All Saints Day.
Right.
So I think that's the day before All Souls, or it's right around. It's 4 days in a row between Halloween and all. Yes.
All Souls would be on Halloween, and then All Saints is on the 1st.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Leo. So they used to dress as saints, and that's how it started with the costume stuff for the Catholics. All Saints, November 1st. Thank you, Lynn. Yes. So Halloween, I think, was like the eve, the eve of that.
Right.
So that's, it goes back to it. And then, like you said, the Celts and just so many different cultures, it's like really fun.
And like how does tradition like carry over for like 1,000 years? It's just amazing how it taps into our like psychology, the psyche of human, like it's great. This year, Halloween will generate in this country alone $10 billion.
Is that true?
Yes, that's a true stat. And
that's incredible.
Between costumes and candy and everything else, it's a $10 billion industry. So
I love that.
It really has tapped into our society, which is like amazing.
I love that. I love anything that first of all, I love anything that gets people involved. I love anything that's all ages can be involved in. That's fun. Just in New York alone, that parade, Andy, you're talking about generating, right?
Sure.
That parade alone, it just goes and goes and goes, and it's incredible. And everybody attends it, all age groups. And the money, then afterwards, people go to restaurants, they go to bars, they do all kinds of, and the money just spent on making costumes, right? And buying costumes.
Yeah.
So how did you guys start? When did you start making your own costumes?
Well,
how did that start?
I have a very uneven relationship with Halloween. As a kid, I really didn't like it. Maybe it was because I just never felt unconscious enough to just like let go. When you're in the performing arts, sometimes when you take on another character, you kind of have to let go of your own personality and just be who you're portraying. And as a kid, I had trouble with that, and my sister Carol, who I absolutely adore, she made costumes for me as a kid.
Wow.
And there she is.
She is, Carol. That's your sister-in-law?
That's my sister.
Oh, your sister. That's so great. Hi, Carol. Welcome.
And there's only a 3-year difference, in age, but even when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, she was only 10, 11, 12, and she was making my costumes, and she would like be dyeing white sheets with what was the dye called? Rit, or, she made that costume. I was Dumbledore, but before Dumbledore was even born.
My God, that's great.
But truthfully, as a kid, I always felt uncomfortable. And then it wasn't until I had like this epiphany if to enjoy Halloween the way I enjoy it is you have to be age appropriate.
Mm.
I didn't enjoy being something I wasn't. The psychology of that is, the psychology of there's books written about it, but it's like, why do we dress up? Do we confront our mortality? Do we confront what terror causes us terror, what frightens us, or what makes us sexy, what makes us funny? Why do we dress up to portray something else? And Halloween allows us psychologically to abandon our normal self.
Right. Absolutely.
And we become something else for a night.
Yes,
and
I agree.
That's a huge psychological thing that we go through. We could be something taboo on one night of the year.
One night of the year, right? And it's okay, right?
So for me, I didn't enjoy Halloween until I understood how age appropriateness for me worked. And so therefore I started to only dress as an age appropriate character.
Well, can we show some picture that which one do you see?
There.
All right. Amazing.
All right. So obviously that's Colonel Sanders, So.
I love it.
Yeah. So the Colonel Sanders, again, age appropriate. I knew that I had the mustache. That was easy.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of putting the outfit together, which, really didn't take that much time. I have to say, Sean and I went to a club in Asbury Park, and I didn't even get into the club. I was still in the parking lot, and people were taking pictures.
I love that.
So you're connecting something psychologically with
yeah.
People wanted to take pictures. Oh, that's even further back.
Is that you?
Yeah. Well, I was experimenting back then. This is way before that. This is back in the 70s. Wow. I was experimenting with latex makeup.
Yeah.
A secret of mine was when I was like early teens, I really thought I was going to be a makeup artist.
Really?
Yeah. I always knew I was going to be a filmmaker, but there was something very fascinating about being a makeup artist. However, I quickly discovered I didn't have the art skills. To be a makeup artist, you really have to be an artist,
Yes, that's true.
I can't draw a straight line, and I quickly realized that if you can't sculpt, plaster and other things, molds, you were not going to make it in the makeup field. So I quickly learned that, I had limited talent in terms of being a full-fledged professional makeup artist, but I could still horse around with it.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a second because I want to read. Danielle writes, so much history with Samhain / Hallows, Hallows Eve. Most costumes became about either scaring away the dark energies or dressing as who they wanted to be like. So you were talking about different things. For me, it was like,
it's
Halloween.
It's called Samhain.
Oh my God! Look at this. This blows my mind. So go ahead, tell everybody.
This is okay. This is this year's car. I didn't even wear this yet. This was only a prototype.
Oh my
God. I decided this year, who could I be age appropriate? And Andy Reid, obviously the head coach of the Chiefs.
Oh my God!
I figured, you know what? Let me try this costume, and I
love it.
Yeah, here you go. And it's funny. And you know what? The best part about this particular costume, it's comfortable.
Yes, I love that. But it's going to catch everybody's attention.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Lynn Portis says, "Awesome." Yeah, and she doesn't waste. I also want to. Dee also said, "Love how our community took on Halloween."
Yeah.
And that is so great. And I mean, Halloween is for everybody, which I love. But really, I mean, it's another whole level in New York, and that parade and that Stonewall and all the clubs.
I think Halloween also teaches children, what the performing arts is all about in a way, in a very subtle way. This is another thing that we used to go to a Halloween costume, and we always tried to be innovative. So one year, a whole group of us, there was like 10 of us, And I
Yeah.
said, who can we be as a group? So I said, oh, we could be the victims of the Titanic. So we dressed as victims of the Titanic, and we put latex and salt crystals on her face to
Oh my
represent ice.
God.
And we made like these styrofoam iceberg things.
Oh,
And
come on.
yeah, it was way out there. It was,
Wow.
so we won.
Sean,
We won.
of course you won. So that's 10 people.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's crazy. But that's fun.
Yep.
And there's a story that goes with it.
Well, yeah, obviously there's legs that go away from like for instance, if someone sees someone like Halloween, if someone sees someone dressed in black or a black tunic, you don't know who they are. But the minute you put a prop in their hand, like a skull, they suddenly become Hamlet.
Yes.
So sometimes props is everything. So we had my friend Paula dressed. So we had my friend Paula dressed as the unsinkable Molly Brown, and we got the Boston newspaper that said Titanic, and she walked around all night, God bless her, in a fur coat with a big hat. So she must have been really warm that night. But she was the one who kind of led us, and she let the audience know through propping who we were.
Wow.
And that often works really well too.
I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, and there's a whole story.
Yeah, it's a multi-dimensional kind of way that you perform.
My cousin Rena one year, I remember they went. This was when the Spice Girls were really big. They went as the Italian Spice Girls, and what it was like basil, oregano. Oh my God! And it was like 5 of them, I think. So hi, Rick Sudi Caritas has joined us. He's going to be on our show December 5th because he's written all kinds of new Christmas stuff. Dee says Molly is buried here on Long Island. Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Wow, that's amazing. So Lynn is on Long Island. Dee's on Long Island. And happy birthday, says Lynn. Yes, so it's your birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And it was my girlfriend's birthday yesterday. It is Libra season. Through and through. Do you like your birthday, Andy? Or are you someone that likes to celebrate?
I love being a Libra, and I love being born in the fall, which is great. Yeah. And a unique story was my mom was obviously pregnant with me. And today, the 17th, she was on her hands and knees in our front yard of our house planting evergreen trees.
Oh, wow.
And then she went into labor after she planted these evergreen trees. And growing up, I always related to these trees. It's a weird thing, but I always related to these trees because I always felt that we were born together.
You were.
It was something that grounded me.
Well, you had this. That's a beautiful story. So you were the same age.
Yeah.
You were in these trees. Now, Sean, when's your birthday, if you don't mind telling?
August 18th.
So you are a Leo.
Yes,
That's my mother was a Leo. That is a great sign. Now, Sean, you weren't in theater or anything like that. I mean, we're all in theater, but how did you have this love of costumes? Were you a kid that always made your own costume as well?
I love costumes. As a young kid, I've always wanted to be into acting, but was very too shy. Wanted to sing and kind of act into it, but just didn't have the courage to do it. And as I got older, I kind of pushed myself into it, and I just love just trying to try new things.
Okay, so this now is Sean as the Burger King.
Yeah.
Okay, is the Burger King holding the head of Ronald McDonald?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. And Andy was telling us a story earlier about your attention to detail. And you want to talk about those rings that you made?
Oh, yeah. Sean, as I said, Sean played trumpet. So he was part of the performing arts at one point because he played trumpet in band.
Oh, my God, look at that. You made those.
Yeah, these were all created, and his attention to detail was so incredible. Drove me crazy, obviously. But but his attention to detail was magnificent,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
Down to the lace coming out of his sleeve and the lace that came up, he just knew exactly what he wanted. And that's
so
really
you didn't rent that costume, you made it.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
Amazing.
the head I was holding was a Michael Myers face that I kind of converted into Ronald McDonald's head. And
Oh,
painted
you
all
even,
around.
oh, so you even made that.
Yes.
Mm.
Wow.
Um,
And Andy, you're Geppetto over there. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I was Geppetto last year. It was a fun costume. For me, it was all about trying to get the wig correctly, and I used the prosthetic nose because Geppetto has like kind of a bulbous nose.
Yes, he does.
So I
You're
put that
right.
on, and it's just a matter of piecing it together.
So what do you guys usually do? Do you go to parties? Do you go to, oh, look at that nose. You're right. You go to parties? Do you go to clubs? What do you do? Because I mean, you make these great costumes. You might as well show them off, right?
Yeah, we do like 2 or 3 things, depending. There's has been in the past a private party that we go to, which is great fun because that's where we see all our friends, and that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a test as to how people react to who you are.
Right,
And
right.
then we go to a couple clubs, specifically one in Asbury, which I have to admit, right? I won grand prize twice, which is really
Wow.
amazing because there's
A
like
lot of people.
500 people with costumes. So,
Really?
yeah, so that's kind of like a great validation.
I love that. So that it's a big club in Asbury Park. Cool. Yeah,
so
that's
it's fun.
all right. And so Sean, as a kid, you used to make your own. And
I would, yeah. My mother would help me out making costumes because she
was
loves
your
costumes.
mother good? Okay, so she was good at it too.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, my mother was too. My mother was great at that stuff. I was telling you guys earlier, she just loved. She could put anything together. And did you learn to sew and do all that stuff from your mom?
Actually, in middle school, I learned to. In school, we had a sewing class.
Oh,
And
wow.
I take it as an elective, and I loved to sew, and I learned a lot from that.
Yeah, see, I don't have that gene. That's why I always admire people that do. Like my Aunt Anna, my cousin Rena's mom, who's my mother's sister. She's amazing. My mother, they could like make anything. They would look at something, they could create the pattern.
Yeah.
So for someone that loves costumes like you do, what was a period of time that you just love? Like if you look through history and you're like, oh, I love that. Clothing wise, like what?
Go ahead.
As a kid, I used to love the horror, like Dracula. My mother made one time. She helped me make a Dracula costume. I think it was like 2nd or 3rd grade, and I remember getting up early in the morning and getting ready for school, and we had to dress up to go to school in costume.
Right. You still remember it. You see?
Perfect. Like I remember perfectly. It was amazing.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Okay, she made that costume.
Yeah, she helped me make it. Yeah, absolutely.
She helped you. Listen to this. You're in 2nd grade, and
Yeah.
you were already doing that.
Yep.
That's really something. That's a special. And look, Liz Goldenberg says my favorite holiday. Now, Liz is born right around. Liz, is it actually October 31st? Your birthday is October 30th. Liz Goldenberg throws the most amazing parties, and they're always Halloween. There's always a theme to them because it's right around Halloween. And then she gives this great swag out. Like it's always this really fun, and there's all kinds of stuff in it. So Liz is definitely, when I think of Halloween, I think of Liz. I'm glad you popped on, Liz. So Liz and her mom were on a few weeks ago. I don't know if you caught that show, Myrna and Liz Goldenberg. Amazing show, just beautiful, very intense, gorgeous material. And so we send it. We're sending you and your mom lots and lots of love, Liz. As you know, we've talked privately, but we send you lots of love. Okay, so
Well,
go ahead, honey.
I like to read about how actors and tying acting and performing arts into Halloween.
Yes, please.
I always found this fascinating. I was reading an article about Melissa McCarthy, who I absolutely adore. I think she's
fantastic.
She's great at ad lib. She's great at character acting. But she said something very interesting. She said, I don't relate to the character. I can't get into the character until I choose my wig.
Oh, interesting.
Now, it takes a step back in history. Melissa McCarthy, back in the early 90s, actually attended Wigstock in New York City.
Okay, so it was started in what, like 91 or something?
Something like that. I went to a
Yeah.
few of them back on the old pier and all of that.
I
the old-
remember it well.
And Melissa McCarthy has really fond memories of going to Wigstock with a few of her gay friends.
Yeah.
And she dressed up in like gold lame and big eyelashes and a big wig. And she called herself Miss Y. I don't know why, but she called herself Miss Y. And you know what? I think this is prior to her obviously becoming famous, but I think she learned a lot from that experience because
I'm
everyone was
sure.
responding to her and how she portrayed herself in costume and wig and makeup,
Right.
you know? And I think that was helped her now because she says, I can't get into my character until I know what wig I'm wearing.
That's amazing. And look at these four different, they are four different looks, and you can even see her personality of the
Yeah.
character coming through.
Exactly.
Right? Wow.
Yeah, I
Because
think that's
why not?
I think
Okay.
Yeah.
So Annette Zito has joined us. That's what I'm reading. Annette Zito, who's an amazing chef, says late, but I'm here. And she has a show on a YouTube called Kitsch Annette, which is incredible recipes. Because why not, she said.
Yeah.
And that makes so much sense. Well, you know, I always, when I was in shows, it's same thing. I mean, but once I had the costume on, then I could really, really click into that. And then I wasn't Maria anymore. Then I was the character.
Right.
But I would struggle before that. I always needed to know what the costume and the whole look was.
That's
and then,
very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple stories about it. First of all, I think I saw you in Tina and
So-
Tony's wedding back in the, early 90s.
Probably. I understand. I played
I went
6
there
different
3
roles.
times, so I'm sure I saw you there. But there's a difference in terms of costuming. There's a difference between theater, interactive theater, like Tina and Tony's wedding, and film. See, because
Right.
film and interactive theater, your costume has to be spot on because it's close up.
Right.
So the attention to detail has to be spot on.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a proscenium and your audience is like the fourth wall and you're on stage, your costume doesn't have to be so precise.
You're
Because
right.
the audience
You're right.
seeing you from a distance.
Yeah.
Unless they have, So that's kind of interesting too. Oh,
What's happening here?
Well, we were talking about props before. We were all dressed as cockroaches, and
I love it.
now, but the cockroach was okay. But what made this group costumes effective was the prop that we bought. We actually
made it.
We made a Moch Rotel.
Oh my God. Are
And the
you
only way the
kidding me?
cockroaches could make sense was, Leo, do you have that Roach Motel shot? And we literally crawled through this Roach Motel during this. There it is.
Oh my God.
So sometimes props is everything in
It's
order
everything.
to. Yeah.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah,
Annette said that's a riot. Yep.
Yeah, we went way out there.
I love that
definitely
though.
went way out there. But getting back to what we were talking about, in terms of actors or performing artists, I have a quick story for you. I was in film school and we were shooting a scene for a film that the graduate students were doing at Syracuse University Film School. And there was this marvelous actress who became a good friend of mine. Her name is Sherry Bloom. She had to play a cheerleader. And so she had the typical cheerleader outfit on. And she felt okay about the role, but there was this one little thing that she had to add. And this taught me, as a director later in life, taught me so much. She found a gold megaphone charm. So this little charm was on a necklace, and that little megaphone charm helped her get into character.
Wow.
And I used that later because I directed a cabaret show for my friend Lynn Robinson at Danny's down on 46th Street. And Lynn had to sing a song about a woman who worked for years at a Holiday Inn. So before her performance, I found a 5-year service pin online from Holiday Inn, and I presented it to her during our dress rehearsal. And I said, I want you to wear this during the song. And I stole that from Sherry because she had that little megaphone. And I gave Lynn this 5-year service pin from Holiday Inn. And that helped her immerse herself even more into a role.
Yeah.
The littlest detail.
The littlest detail. Now, Sean, do you ever watch movies or things like, or shows and get ideas from them for costumes for like other, or do you ever look at a costume, like say in some kind of a performance and think, wow, that's incredible, I could make that, or inspired by?
Well, my Burger King outfit, I like to twist things up a little bit and be very kind of out there with it. So that's where I came up with the Ronald McDonald head.
Yeah.
So I guess I take it all in and I just kind of play with the idea. And I thought like it was amazing just that type of costume was going to be so different and unique that no one's ever seen something like that before.
Yeah. So you like to just like kind of come up with a story.
Right. A brainstorm. Yeah.
And, for me, the fun thing is, sometimes you want to portray another human being. So like Colonel Sanders, another human being. But there's another challenge is if you choose an iconic character, like a cartoon character that's drawn, well, there's no reality to that because they're an illustration.
Right.
So how do you adapt yourself to a cartoon character? So a couple of years ago, I became the general for General Insurance. Now I had to kind of like humanize an illustration, and that was a fun challenge.
Do we have a picture of that?
I think you do.
Leo, do we have that? All right, he'll pull it up. But that's right. You showed me that night that we were all we were all having dinner. That was
sometimes you have to go way out in order to complete the costume. I could not find the flyboy pants, which is, it's the old World War II pants where they kind of flare out on the side.
Yes.
I couldn't find them anywhere online or anything until I found, and this is absolutely true, I found a Polish military surplus website.
Oh my God.
And I said, okay, there we are.
Oh my God. This might be my favorite one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to, right? What do you think, Sean? Is this your favorite one?
Mustache, eyebrows.
Sean helped me with the mustache, which was great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
come on, you guys, this is incredible. That's the greatest one. I mean, I love all the costumes, but I got to tell you, that one is the one. Did you win? Did you win that year?
Yes.
Did you win? Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's iconic. Everybody knows that right away what it is. You've seen that
it's
commercial.
like one of those cartoon characters that came to life, but you got to be really careful about how you adapt yourself into that character, So
but even fun. That, like you were talking about the mustache that Sean did, that it looks cartoon-like. Mm-hmm. It's very different than the other characters you play, where it is your mustache. That's a cartoon-like.
Yes.
Very, very, very.
But I wanted to make it real enough where people would actually believe that this character could come to life. So
but
there's this like thin line there.
Totally though.
It's fun.
All right, we're gonna take a minute. We're gonna do. Oh, what's this? Who's that guy? Leo?
There's your authentic cheerleader.
I should have given you the megaphone.
Leo, is that you?
That's me back in high school. Yep.
Oh my God, how cute are
that's
you?
Great.
Always adorable.
There's your next year. I want to see your Halloween costume like that.
I love this stuff. You know what? It just makes me. I got to go back and look at all my books because a lot of them from way back I have in actual photo albums when we didn't have cell phones, and but I think one year I went, a bunch of my friends and I went as like crudité. I was a celery. No, it's true. Like I was a celery stalk. Someone else was a carrot.
I love it.
But I love that stuff too. All right, let's do our food section of our show, which is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. So on the count of 3, you ready, Sean? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. Keep
eating.
All right. So what did I make tonight? I'm not on the keto yet. Tomorrow I'm going back on it. But the other day I went to some deli and I was like, I wish they had chicken cutlets. And then I came home and I was like, I can't believe I couldn't find a chicken cutlet. And I thought, Maria, you're Italian. You have chicken in the refrigerator right now, and you have everything to make it. Stop being such a lazy ass. So I made chicken cutlets, and chicken cutlets. I do not make the best chicken cutlets I've ever had in my life. Is my cousin Rena. I don't know what she does. It's magical. Her chicken cutlets are magical. But this is what I do. My chicken cutlets, very simple, the way my mother made them. You get 3 bowls. One is flour. Then you beat some eggs with a bunch of, some spices of your choice, Italian spices, and then flour. Breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs. And you go one, dip into the other, and then the other, and then you just nice pan of oil with sliced fresh garlic in there, and you just cook them until they're golden brown on each side. And then that's how you could start a Parmigiana if you like, anything you want to do with those. Or you can make a marsala, or although marsala doesn't have the breadcrumbs, but Francese doesn't have the breadcrumbs either. But chicken cutlets are one of my favorite things. And all I do is put a little bit of lemon. I just sliced up some scallions, and that's it. A little salt and pepper, and I eat them like that. I'm happy to eat that. That is not really keto because of the breadcrumbs, but I'm transitioning into it. But I got to tell you, seriously, Rena's are the best I have ever had, ever. So there's your chicken cutlets for the night.
That looks amazing.
She's got it. She's the family manager. She better have something
I'm
that's
salivating right now because that is his favorite.
So
Is that true, Sean? I'm gonna make you.
True. It's his favorite.
I'm gonna make you some chicken cutlets. I'm gonna drive out. I keep threatening to do this, but I'm gonna drive out to where you guys are. I'm gonna bring you sauce.
Oh.
I'm gonna bring you soup that I make, and I'm gonna bring chicken cutlets just for Sean.
All right.
That's
but I want to try your meatballs though.
nope.
Oh,
Meatballs too.
Of course, meatballs as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I am always so proud of my salads because I am very creative with my salads. Annette, I think you're going to love this salad. So I have to read what I put in here because I put so much. Romaine lettuce, purple cabbage, baby cucumbers, orange. I'm trying to go for a kind of a fall-like look. Orange peppers, pomegranate seeds.
Ooh.
Look at that. I bought a pomegranate and opened it up and all the seeds came up. Poppy seeds. And then I'm putting toasted sesame olive oil and just a squeeze of fresh orange on this. Because of the pomegranate, it already has enough acid, and I don't want to put too much vinegar and stuff. So just some orange juice. I will mix the orange juice, the sesame oil, and the poppy seeds. And
how was that again?
Right now I'm laughing. I'm laughing. I can't do it.
There you go.
But and for dessert, we're having Trader Joe's makes these cookies that are like Oreos called JoJo's, but they have seasonal ones. So these are dipped, a pumpkin spice dipped JoJo's. You know I love Trader Joe's. So that is. Oh, Ben Goldberg has joined us.
Hey,
we love Ben Goldberg. As a matter of fact, the night I went out with Sean and Andy, we went to Tony DiNapoli's, which I had never been to, believe it or not. But oh my God, so delicious.
Really good.
Yeah, I really was impressed. Family style. And who did we run into? Ben Goldberg and Michael. Right. Michael Ball.
My buddies, my 2 buddies.
They're fantastic people.
Maria, before I forget, you didn't get enough bread in that meal, I don't think. Just to remind you.
Oh my God.
Just to give Jerry his shout out.
Well, let's show that again. This is my cousin.
A well-placed French bread. I love
yes,
it.
thank you. This is my cousin.
Very well placed.
Yes, Jerry Savino. He is, it's his birthday this month, I believe the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. And he was so badly wanted to be Mr. October. And he is a baker by trade. He makes bread. So hence the layout of the baguette. And trick or treat there. There you go. I think he wants us all to enjoy a little bread this season. So please enjoy some bread, folks. It doesn't have to be Jerry's bread, but wherever you are, enjoy a good baguette tonight.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, squeeze it. Make sure it's fresh.
That's what Leo. Otherwise, if it's not, wrap a little, you put a little something on it and put it in the microwave with that's all. Little wet rag in the microwave.
You could do a lot of butter jokes here, but we're not.
Yes, pops right up.
Hey, you wait around a while, you got some Italian breadcrumbs.
That's all. Love it.
Yeah.
Michael Bow has joined us as well. Now,
Hi, Michael.
are you guys cooks at all? Do you cook at all? You
I cook all the time.
Do you?
I've probably got like 3,000 recipes in my boxes here.
Really?
Crazy. I just collect recipes and I try things, and
That's great.
I don't cook every night, but I try to cook as much as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to cook. I really enjoy it. Sean, do you like to cook, or?
I love to cook with him. I help him out, so I'm not a good cook.
That's good.
Yeah, we love to cook together.
So you're the sous chef. Everybody needs a good sous chef.
Yeah.
Every good cooking team. I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. You know what I'm going to start making just for myself these days is like stews. I love like beef stew.
Yeah, I'm a crock pot stew guy.
Me too. And once it gets a little cold out, I really like doing that.
Yeah, me too. I love doing all that. One of our favorite things is we got a real iron skillet, like one of those heavy duty skillets.
Oh,
and
wow.
we just learned to
steaks.
We get prime New York strips and we put it right in the skillet, with like oil and butter and then thyme and rosemary.
Oh my God.
It's like
amazing.
Restaurant quality. Once you learn the timing of it,
the tricks of it. Yeah.
I have 3 cast iron skillets that I've had for 20 years, over 20 years.
Yeah. Iron skillets. Yeah. There's nothing better because they go into the oven or they go on the stovetop. So it's just like so versatile.
If you're a Mexican, they live in the oven.
Is that true? Okay.
Jace.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So, oh my God, it went so fast. We have like just a few minutes. I can't believe this.
Well, thank you for having us.
Oh my God. I'm so glad that you were able to do it. I mean, that night we went out to dinner. I'm like, would you guys be willing to come on and talk about costumes? Because and it's good. Now I'm inspired, believe it or not, because I had no idea what I'm going to do. And I really wasn't even thinking about it. And then today I was talking to Kurt, who owns the Stonewall Inn, and he's like, yeah, I need you at the door if you want to work. So I am working. There's no show. There's no What's the Story with Maria that night. Leo, we'll figure out what to do. Maybe we'll just show an old episode or not.
It's okay. It could be off that night.
Yeah, or we'll just be off and take, because you got the kids at school, and a lot of people are.
I will be home by that time. By the time the insanity starts, I will be at home with a candle lit and watching whatever's on TV.
Okay, and I'll what I'm going to do, which is what I do every year at the Stonewall Inn, is you see some of the most amazing costumes you'll ever see in your life. And so I just take a bunch of pictures and then I'll post them the next day. Incredible pictures.
Hold your head up.
So,
we're gonna end up, with him holding his iconic.
Oh my God!
Happy Halloween, everybody!
So scary. Okay,
you rule.
We want to thank Sean and Andy for joining us tonight. The Costume Kings joined us tonight. We want you to be inspired, and do me a favor and do us a favor. If you have costumes from other years that you want to post on, maybe make a collage of some of your costumes, post it either on this thread that we can see, just click them on there so we can see some of your favorite costumes of years that you had. And if you want, even when you were a kid, I love when people, because one of the funny things is, and my cousin Rena will laugh at this because she knows, I always went as a kid, talk about like finding your way in the world. I always went as like either a bum. It was always a boy. I was like a hobo, a bum, a pirate. Like I was never any of the girly things. My sister was always like the princess, the gypsy, and I was always like the scary person. I was always that. And so, so you get to, but as a kid, you get to be who you want to be in that moment. And it's really fun. So everybody enjoy your Halloween, which is in 2 weeks. Enjoy your parties that are coming up in school. We do a lot of costume stuff. Maybe this week I'll start to bring in some costume stuff for the kids. And post it on this thread or on our wall. We would love to see you. We liked our audience and our people to be part of our lives. So, would you guys like to leave the crowd with anything? Any words of inspiration, Sean and Andy?
Do you have anything?
Look at that.
You know, this is a holiday where you don't have to be your everyday self. So embrace it, enjoy it, and just have fun. You know,
Yeah.
This is one day where you can immerse yourself into a whole nother personality and look and actually enjoy yourself. So, you know, people who don't like Halloween, you know, give it a try, because sometimes you can release a whole bunch of stuff, you know, repressive stuff that you've been carrying with you.
Absolutely. And Leo, do you want to leave us with anything?
Everyone say a prayer for everybody out there that needs it.
Yes,
and there's a lot of them that need it, so please do.
Absolutely.
I couldn't agree more. Yes. And, you know, what I want to leave everybody with, kids to adults, is just be nice to each other. Being mean is never okay. Be nice to each other. We, like as Leo said, we need so much love right now. And have fun. Have fun on Halloween. Let go and let yourself be, just enjoy yourselves. And I would like to say that this was one of my favorite t-shirts. American Horror Story. I don't know who that guy is, but he scares the
He's scary as hell.
It seems like the number one scary costume this year, I bet.
Yeah, the American Horror Story. So just enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. We love and appreciate you. Please come back and see us next week. Lynn Portis, Dan Clancy are going to join us.
Terrific.
Thank you, everybody.
Genius.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.